First of all, congratulations on taking the step to invest and grow your business, right? Congratulations on investing the time towards improving yourself and your business. Instead of watching some stupid YouTube short or Instagram reel or TikTok reel or whatever it is, man. Instead of doing that, you're here. So kudos to you for that. And yeah, as you can see in the title, the point of this video is to show you and break down to you how exactly you can start from scratch and then scale to 10K per month. Now, why 10K per month though? 10K per month is basically how you can get to six-figure income, right? That's the first milestone that you need to hit in order for you to have a decent six-figure income, right? If you're making 10K per month, that means that you're now in the six-figure bracket. To be exact, it's 8,333 point blah blah blah, but 10K is more rounded off, right? If you're at 10K, then you're at $120,000 per year, meaning six-figure income. That's why it's a gold standard for many, right? Including myself at one point. And of course, it's an important milestone to reach. And also why 10K per month is considered to be really important is because once you hit 10K per month, you now have access to capital. So getting from 10K per month to like 50K per month is way easier than getting from 0 to 10K per month, because when it comes to getting from 0 to 10K per month, you have to build everything from scratch. But when you are scaling from 10K to 50K per month, the foundations are laid out already. So it's just adding in more inputs, right? You're not building the entire office complex from scratch. So with that being said, let's get straight into it, right? So this is the breakdown, right? The high level breakdown. You gotta first pick your niche, right? Niche and industry. And then you gotta identify your ideal client profile. Who are you going to serve? Your avatar, right? And then once you figured out your niche in ICP, you gotta figure out your offer now. That is, you do that through implementing the offer creation framework that I'm going to be going over with you in this video. And also you're going to be implementing some steps, right? You're going to be learning also on how you can test for market offer resonance, right? Basically, market offer resonance is used to describe how well your offer is resonating with the market. And I'm going to be sharing with you how you can test that. And also I'm going to be sharing with you how you can create your cold market research campaigns, how you can collect market feedback using that, and then how to pivot if need be, if it's not really looking good, when it comes to the campaign results. And also I'm going to be sharing with you the channels of client acquisition that you can leverage if you are looking to scale traffic to your offer, that is, right? If you've nailed down your niche, ICP, and offer, then now it means that you gotta nail down your client acquisition, right? Your channels of client acquisition or channel of client acquisition. When it comes to getting from 0 to 10K per month, you can use one channel and you're good with that. But yeah, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can pick the right channel, because there are so many options out there. And also, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can optimize for referrals as well. Now, optimizing for referrals, how you can, go ahead and build a great product and service, how you can collect case studies and testimonials, things like that. I'll be sharing a high-level overview of that too. With that being said, let's get into it, right? Now, again, the first part, right? The hardest part is this, right? It's figuring out your niche, your ICP, and then selecting your service and offer, and then testing your offer for market resonance. If there's resonance, then you have to scale offer to your traffic. Sorry, if you have to scale traffic to your offer. And if there isn't any resonance, you got to go back to the drawing board and then pivot, right? Based on feedback. When you're looking to scale to 10K per month, again, it's all about one offer, one ICP, and one channel. That's what you need to nail down. And when it comes to picking your niche or industry and then identifying your ICP, this is a quick guideline or framework that you can use. how do you go about selecting your niche? Well, first, you gotta you gotta do some introspective thinking, self-thinking, right? Or whatever you want to call it. What are the niches and industries that are closest to your expertise? What do you like? Do you like real estate, or do you like consulting, or do you like law, accounting? What are you, what is your passion? Basically, what are you most passionate about? Like, what is the topic that interests you the most, or industry interests you the most? Finance, law, what is it? Accounting, or construction, whatever, right? And once you've picked a few, right, I would say pick one to start off with, right? Pick one. And then you can pivot. If it's not really working out for you, then you can change that. But to start off, start with just one, right? Once you've selected one industry, break down your preferred industry into segments. And then once you've broken down the whole industry into segments, analyze what you're most comfortable with and then start with that. So let me do a live breakdown in front of you, right? So let's say I'm really comfortable with time. So let's say I'm really comfortable with real estate. Or let's take my business itself, right? I'm comfortable with marketing agencies, coaching businesses, and consultancies because I've worked with them before. I've helped them scale before as well when I was working as a sales development representative and then as an outbound consultant, things like that. I've had experience being an appointment setter inside different agencies and coaching businesses and consulting companies as well. So I'm familiar with that. So that's why I prefer marketing agencies, coaches, and consultancies, right? I've also worked with B2B companies and startups. So that's also an industry that I could pick, right? But I'm most familiar with these, right? Agencies, coaches, and consultancies. And this is a broad sector. Marketing industry, in coaching industry, and consulting industry, that's a broad selection. You gotta break it down even further. Now, when it comes to these, there are agencies, coaches, and consultancies, right? When it comes to these, we can break them down, segment them basically by revenue, employee size, what else? Type of offer. Are they doing like a really done with you offer, or are they doing a done for you, complete done for you offer? Full agency model, or are they doing some coaching and consulting embedded in it? Things like that. You can segment by this, right? Now, revenue and employee size. These are the most evident, right? The easiest to start with. And when it comes to these, right? When it comes to any business, any industry, there are beginners who you can serve. And then there are advanced guys. And then you got enterprise. You got enterprise. Nice. Now, beginners are guys who are doing, 0 to 10K per month, even I would say 15K. Let's just keep it as 10K for the sake of simplicity. Basically, if you're watching this video, then you're probably a beginner, right? Because you're trying to get to 10K per month. Being a beginner is not bad, right? Don't think that. I'm not saying that being a beginner is bad. Everybody starts from scratch. I mean, you got to start from somewhere, right? If you're a beginner, that's not a bad thing, but that's a totally different market segment, though. You just got to keep that in mind. And advanced in terms of revenue, a guy's doing 25K per month to 100K per month. Enterprise guys are guys who are doing above 100K. They're doing like $1 million per month or something. But those are the enterprise level guys. Now, why are we even segmenting in the first place? We're segmenting because each of these sizes, right? Each of these guys, each of these segments, whatever you want to call them, they have their own challenges and problems. For example, an agency owner who was at 0 to 10K per month, who is at 0 to 10K per month, has a different set of problems when you compare it to a business owner who's doing like $1 million per month. Right? The problems are different. The scale of the problems are also, again, changed. And so you got to keep all those factors into consideration as well. Now, why employee size? Let's say you're helping 1 to 10 employees, companies with 1 to 10 employees, or let me put it here, 1 to 10 employees, or 10 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 plus, 1,000 plus. The complexity of all this, the complexity at each level is different. So you always have to keep that in mind. Now, the segments I help, for example, are agency owners doing about 10K per month, and I also help agency owners. This is one segment I serve, agency owners and B2B businesses. I'm doing about 10K per month, and we got also agency owners doing below 10K per month. I help these guys as well. These are two segments that I serve, but the thing that you got to keep in mind is, right, for each segment you have to have a different offer. Because the problems they have are different, the challenges they have are different, the complexity is different, and the pain points are also very different when it comes to each segment. So keep that in mind and nail down 1 to 3 segments that you want to target, right? Once you've done that, the next step is to start testing, right? The next step is to start testing, conducting market analysis, and crafting your specific offer. How is your market looking like at the moment, right? First, ask yourself the question. Did you follow through a market analysis and research checklist? Have you created one? And have you followed through that, when it comes to creating your offer? If not yet, you've got to basically follow it, right? You got to create one and then follow through that. I'd like to follow the principle of what I call the slight market edge, right? You don't have to be Albert Einstein. You don't have to be Steve Jobs, right? Probably a principle like this exists before, already. But basically the point of this principle is to you want to create something that's just slightly better than the market, right? Because if 10 guys are pretty much offering the same thing and you're the 11th one offering an offer that's slightly better than the 10 other people, then the people who are subscribing to those 10 other guys, they'll start flocking to you because yours is better than them, right? Even if it's just slightly, right? So you want to create something that's slightly better than the market at least. If you can create something that's extremely better than the marketplace, what the market is currently offering, then kudos to you, man. You're going to be extremely successful. But if you want to start, you basically want to start off with creating something that's slightly better than the market. This is way more easier to conquer as well if you look at it as a challenge. Now, once you've created something that's slightly better than the market, you need to amplify and market those benefits that you offer effectively. So here's the analysis that you do, right? Number one, decide what solution or product that you're going to be selling. Is that Facebook ads, or YouTube ads, or Instagram ads, or shout outs, or influencer marketing, or email marketing, or what the hell are you going to do? Figure out that first. And then what are the common offers that are available in the market for that particular product or solution that you're going to sell? What are the different offers that are available in the marketplace? You got to do that research as well. You do that through Facebook Ads Library. You do that through looking at your competitors, things like that. And then you create a huge research checklist. Sorry, not a checklist. Basically a swipe file, meaning list of the different offers and the copy that is being used, things like that. You collect all that and put it in a swipe file. Once you're done that, analyze what the pricing structures are, what are the pricing structures they have, what are the gaps in the products or services or solutions that they're selling, what are the gaps in that, analyze that too, and figure out how you're going to be solving those gaps, problems, and issues in the current market offer. And then figure out how you're going to be making your offer unique based on that, and then how your pricing strategy is going to look like. For example, if everyone in your industry is offering a fixed retainer, you could potentially test out a setup fee, things like that. Now, once you've done that, how are you going to structure your marketing and messaging so that you stand out from the competition? How are you going to communicate the benefits? How are you going to communicate your uniqueness, your unique selling points to the market, right, to your audience, so that you stand out from the competition and people actually buy from you? How are you going to do that? That's the analysis that you need to do first, right? And the answer to those questions will allow you to craft really amazing campaigns and acquire amazing results. Again, just to let you know, this is meant to be a general guideline, right? These questions are not the entirety of market research. They can be more or less depending on your market, product, service, and industry. Just keep that in mind. Once we acquire the answers, we start designing our market research campaigns. Conducting market research campaigns. This is a high level overview. You use ChatGPT first to conduct research on what potential pain points that the industry or niche that you're looking to target is facing. Look at different sources, Quora, Facebook Ads Library, things like that. What are the different marketing messages that are being used? What are the different pain points they are covering? Things like that. Those also give you a great deal of insight into the potential pain points that your industry and niche and ICP is facing. And then once you figure that out, you create an outbound campaign asking if they'll be interested in solving that specific problem or problems. And then what you need to do is you got to get them on interviews, surveys, and sales calls and figure out whether the problem is actually real or not, right? And if you need to pivot what you're solving for as well. For this whole process, I would highly suggest you use or leverage cold outbound, right? Why cold outbound? Well, because it's cheaper compared to paid ads or content. I mean, content is, the cost is almost close to none, but cold outbound is the best solution because it has an amazing balance of ROI, cost, and time. I'll be covering more on that later in this video, but yeah, I would suggest you leverage cold outbound first to do this whole thing. Here are the steps to follow when it comes to creating a cold outbound cold market research campaign, right? Number one, this is a high level overview, right? By the way, this is a high level overview, so just keep that in mind. I have other videos as well breaking down in depth about how you can launch your own cold outbound campaigns and do market research and acquire more customers from it as well. I have multiple in-depth videos in this channel that you can refer to, so keep that in mind as well. Now with that being said, let's just get to the steps, right? Step one, create a list of 5,000 to 10,000 people in your ideal client profile, and then create multiple variants of copy that you can test around that. And then once you've done that, you use an automated system for cold outreach such as smartly.ai to automate the whole process of outreach. And then you send out the email and DM copy to your lead list of 5,000 to 10,000, and then you acquire data from that. And then you pivot based on that data. Now, channels of client acquisition. Bruh, this is the next step. But before we get into, actual scaling traffic, let's talk about what is the data that you need to look at, when it comes to your cold market research campaigns that you do through outbound. You got to look at how much positive replies you're getting for each particular offer you're testing, right? Each variant of copy should be testing for the offer and pain point that you're looking to solve. Figure out based on the positive reply rate and the meeting booking rate on what offer is performing really well, right? If you're getting a high positive response rate and meeting booking rate for offer 1 compared to offer 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then offer 1 is what you need to pump, dial in on or hone in on, right? Pump up more volume to as well. So more volume of your time, more volume of your actions, effort, time, energy, and effort basically. That's what you need to do. Now let's get back to channels of client acquisition. Now again, there are 3 key channels of client acquisition that a majority of business owners use, right? Of course, referrals are also there, but these are, quote unquote, channels of client acquisition, right? Cold outbound, paid ads, and content. These are 3 key channels of client acquisition. The first question that anybody may have in their mind is, what do we pick? Especially when we're starting off, right? Because all 3 channels work provided you have the right strategy and you are executing that strategy over a long enough time period. And when it comes to selecting our channels, we need to consider these factors. Number 1, cost of implementing and executing on that system or channel. Number 2, the time taken to deliver an ROI or results. How much ROI exactly are we getting is number 3. When we are in the initial stages of scaling, especially at 0 to 10K per month, we need to get a high ROI fast, right? At a reasonably low cost as well. That could be signing on our first 1 to 5 new clients, right? This is where our whole cold outbound comes in. When you're starting out, I highly suggest cold outbound, right? Because worst case, you'll be burning a few $100s. Best case, you'll be making hundreds of thousands of dollars even, right? Provided your deal sizes be enough. Now, once again, cold outbound is the way to go, especially when you're trying to prove product market fit and service market fit. I always preach that. If someone is saying cold outbound doesn't work anymore, cold outreach is dead or something like that, that means they got something else that they want to sell you, right? or probably the strategy that they were using before didn't work anymore. It no longer works for them, so they're like, you know what, cold outreach is dead. That's what they say. So take it with a pinch of salt, right? When you ask me, I say all three work. All three will work, right? When you're scaling, you gotta use all three. But to start off, if you want an immediate ROI, start off with cold outbound, right? Create content on the side and then use cold outbound as your primary active client acquisition channel, right? Proactive acquisition channel instead of paid ads. Because paid ads is more expensive, to test. You gotta put in like at least $50 to $100 per day, if you are trying to get good results out of it, especially when you're starting out as an ad budget. They recommend $50 to $100 per day as the minimum input action. So I gotta keep that in mind as well. Now, that being said, let's break down cold outbound, right? How do we create good cold outbound campaigns? You're here, right? Okay, so now I got it. So I need to start cold outbound. Cool, but how do we exactly go about doing that? And how do we get to the end outcome where we get a full sales pipeline stacked and packed with sales calls? Qualified sales calls with individuals that have the money to invest in your services and actually have a real problem that you solve. How do we get to this desired outcome, right? First, you need to figure out who are you going to target, and then based on that, structure your messaging. And also figure out the call to action that you're going to be embedding. Are you giving a free resource to them, or are you giving them a lead magnet in hopes of converting them later, or are you asking for a call directly, straight away? Keep those things in mind as well. That's the call to action, and then you gotta think about the infrastructure as well, right? Because you need a solid infrastructure tech setup in place that will enable you to send out thousands of emails per day, without you burning your domains and inboxes and going to spam and wasting all your fucking money. So you gotta keep those things in mind as well. Now let's get to the math of, the math behind getting to 10K per month. If you are selling high ticket, this is probably the funnel that you're using, right? You have the attention generating activity, may that be running ads or sending out cold emails or DMs or, creating X amount of X pieces of content per day, whatever. That's the attention generation activity. From that attention generation activity, you will be getting a certain amount of leads or opt-ins. And those leads and opt-ins will turn into a book call, right? And those book calls will turn into closed deals, and those closed deals will turn into cash in the bank or dollars in the bank or whatever you want to call it, pounds, euros, francs, rupees, whatever, right? If you're selling high ticket, this is the funnel that you're probably using. It's a call funnel basically. And in order to get the best results from this, you need to maximize the inputs. And for that, you also need to maximize the amount of each component as well. You need to maximize the inputs and the amount of each component that you see in the funnel, right? Inputs being the attention generation activity that you're doing, and then how many opt-ins you're getting, how many sales calls you're getting, how many closed deals you're getting, and then how much cash you're converting into the bank as well. You gotta increase the amount of all these three to get a good end outcome, which is desired outcome, which is dollars in the bank, cash in the bank, euros in the bank, francs in the bank, or pounds in the bank, whatever. Just joking, cash in the bank basically. And for that, these are the metrics that you need to keep in mind. Opt-in rate, positive reply rate at this stage, when you're when you're trying to get leads, you gotta look at this. You gotta look at this, and then when you're trying to get more book meetings on the calendar, you're going to look at this, which is the meeting booking rate, and then when you're looking to close more deals, you gotta look at your close rate. These metrics translate into number of leads and opt-ins, number of book calls, and the number of closed deals. That's pretty much the math behind that, right? And let me break down live in front of you, how you can reverse engineer your targets, right? This is applicable if you are, if you're looking to scale from 0 to 10K per month. If you're looking to hit 10K per month, you're looking to hit even 100K per month. This is applicable for any stage because the principle is just reverse engineering, right? The principle is the same. It remains the same wherever you are in business. Now, let's break down the math. Now, our goal right now, increase the thickness. Our goal right now is hitting 10K per month, right? And for hitting 10K per month, how many clients do you need? You need to first figure out the price point of your offer. Let's say $1,500, for your service. And let's say you're selling one-off units. Just for the sake of for this video, for the sake of simplicity, let's say you're selling one-off units. So 1,500 per unit that's the fees, or that's the price that you charge your clients, $1,500. And if that's the case, you need 7 clients roughly, right? 10,000 divided by 1,500, that's like 6 point something, that can be rounded off to 7 clients. And to get 7 clients, what do you need to do? This is the next step. We have figured out how many clients we need, right? Now we need to figure out how many, what do we need to do in order to get those 7 clients. So to get 7 clients, how many sales calls do we need? Because we are assuming that we're offering a high ticket service here, and then we are assuming that we are running a call funnel here basically. So how many sales calls do you need? For this, you need the close rate, right? You need to know your closing percentage, right? For the sake of simplicity and convenience for this video, let's say 20%. Right? Let's say 20% closing rate. And if you have 20% closing rate, that means you need 35 sales calls. And for these 35 sales calls, what are the input actions that are required, for us to achieve this outcome? Now, assuming you're doing cold outbound, we need to figure out how much outreach is being needed to get to 35 sales calls per month, right? Because we're trying to hit 10K per month. So this has to be hit in a month. So how do we get there? For this, we need to figure out how much is the opt-in rate, right? You need to know your opt-in rate, you need to know your positive reply rate, and then you need to know your meeting booking rate. So let's say you get a lead for every 500 emails. 500, that's for emails. So let's say 250 outreaches. For every 250 outreaches, you're getting a lead, right? Which is reasonable, right? Every 250 outreach, you're getting a lead, right? To get one lead. So that means, and also another thing you need to figure out is how many of the opt-ins convert or leads get converted into meeting. It's around 40 to 50 percentage, when it comes to industry benchmarks on average. So let's say 50%, right? Let's assume it to be 50% for the sake of simplicity in this video once again. So let's say 50%, and so if we have that in mind, this is the math that we need to reverse engineer, right? Okay, so 50% of our leads get converted into a meeting, right? So if that's the case, we need twice the amount of leads, right? Which is 70 leads, because meetings, what we're doing is we are dividing the meeting booking rate. So we're dividing the number of sales calls by the meeting booking rate, right? 35 by 0.5 is equal to 70, right? So you need 70 leads, and to get these 70 leads, you need 70 into 250 outreaches, which is 17,500 outreaches per month. And assuming 20 working days, Monday to Friday, you work Monday to Friday, and each month has 4 weeks. So 20 working, god dang, 20 working, how hard is it to draw to zero? 20 working days. So that means 17,500 divided by 20 is equal to 875 outreaches per day. That's basically how you reverse engineer the math. So you need to do 875 outreaches per day in order to hit the monthly goal of 35 sales calls per month, right? This is pretty much the same strategy that you would need to use if you were to, break down the math for 100K per month. If you want to hit 100K per month, okay, you need to figure out what's your price per unit, and then figure out how many clients you need based on that price per unit, and then based on your closing ratio or closing rate, you got to figure out how many sales calls you would need to get those clients, and then based on that you figure out the number of leads that you would need, and then the number of meetings that the number of leads that you would need, basically, right? Based on the meeting booking rate and opt-in rate as well, and then based on that you figure out your daily outreach volume target. That's pretty much the overall strategy. Now, I hope this was useful, right? Of course, it should be, if you are smart enough, that is. But yeah, so let's get to getting results, right? This is the part that many people skip because what I've seen is this is a sad thing that happens with a lot of businesses, right? Either they're great marketers, either they are great at developing products, they're able to build amazing products and services, but they don't know how to market it, so their business is always struggling. Or they're great marketers, but they don't know how to build and maintain a proper amazing product, so they struggle again because in the short term they're able to accumulate a lot of cash, but then shit starts to stink and the ship starts burning because nobody's getting results, right? So it turns into a whole mess. It turns into a shit pile, whatever you want to call it, and the whole business is fucked. You don't want to be in those extreme ends, And if we put it across a line, you got product, you got marketing, right? P and M, right? This is what you're only good at. Watch you are good at. Gotta be in the middle. That's basically the point, right? Or if you're smart enough, what you would do is you would get a co-founder who is amazing at the other end. Right? If you're amazing at product, get a marketing focused co-founder. Right? If you're good at marketing, then get a product focused co-founder. Right? That's how you can compensate for your weaknesses. You can tag team and jab, and basically two-step combo, jab and cross. That's another solution to your dilemma, right? Instead of you having to balance everything, you could just get another guy, a trusted, reliable co-founder who is focused and who's better at the other end, may that be product or marketing. But you need both for the business to be successful. So once again, the point is you need to have a great product and service as well as great marketing. And the biggest step a lot of the gurus out there miss out on explaining that is optimizing your service delivery process. How do you build a great product or service? They forget that part. Because a lot of people are bad at marketing, usually. Bad meaning that is not their strong suit, right? So a lot of gurus came up and started teaching how you can market yourself. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but for a complete beginner, he needs to know both. He needs to know how to do the service delivery as well as get clients for his service as well. And also you need to know how you can collect case studies and testimonials, because the case studies and testimonials serve as the backbone for your marketing efforts, right? That builds the social proof and trust because they're able to see, yeah, this guy's stuff actually works. I can see that client X, client Y, and client Z are getting amazing results from this guy. So maybe I gotta listen to what he's saying and maybe I gotta buy from this dude. So that's an important thing that you gotta keep in mind as well. Of course, I'll create another video on how you can exactly optimize for referrals and how you can improve your service delivery processes. But to give you a high level overview, the way you improve your service delivery is by optimizing for three key things. Number one, talent. Automations is number two. Automations, and number three is standardized operating procedures. Right? All the three link with each other. If you have exceptional talent following really well detailed and amazing standard operating procedures that are of high standard, high quality, and you also have automations in place to support the activities of your business, to support the activities of service delivery, then boom, you're able to deliver incredible results for your clients. That's the high level overview, but yeah, I'll create a separate in-depth guide for that. Now, that pretty much covers the point of this video, right? If you're trying to get to 10K per month from scratch, the whole goal is to first get your first 1 to 5 or 1 to 7 high-paying, high-ticket clients. Your first paying clients, that's what you need to get. Especially if you're a beginner, that should be a goal. Get more clients, you got to build a business, right? Until then, it's just an idea. You have a product or service, that you want to help, it's incredible, yada, yada, whatever. Maybe it's actually incredible, a lot of people have incredible ideas, incredible strategies that they would like to implement for everybody, but they don't know how to market it, they don't know how to acquire clients for their service, and hence they struggle in life and business. I don't want you to be one of those guys. So yeah, when you're trying to get from 0 to 10K per month, your primary focus should be on client acquisition. And then once you get to 10K per month, you now have cash to deploy, things like that, so you can start honing in on your service delivery as well. If you're initially starting out, you got to do the service delivery by yourself first to start off, because that's how you learn how the whole thing works, how all the processes work and things like that. Do not outsource to a cheap contractor. If the contractor is not good, you're fucked. If the contractor is good, you're lucky. But I would suggest doing it yourself first, with the help of other people there, of course, but actively involve yourself in the service delivery process as well when you are starting out. Now, with that all being said, here's my offer to you, right? I'm creating a free community where like-minded business owners like yourself can network with each other. I'll be also sharing insights that I'm learning in business with you all as well. Join if you're interested, that's the link in the description. And if you want me to give you a custom roadmap for scaling your business, right, to help you get from 0 to 10K per month easily in the shortest time period possible, then use the link below to book a call with me. Right? You have two options. You can do both as well if you want, but yeah. Again, that's completely up to you, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Thank you.